Hi, I'm Pieter Bijl. I'm in charge of R&D at North Windsurfing. I'm going to run you through some tuning cues on the Generation 2 wave sail. Quite a different sail than the Generation 1 as far as shaping goes. So these cues that I'm going to give you are unique to this sail. So for a windsurfing sail, this shaping is relatively unique. We have a lot of excess material right above the boom. This ensures that the leech is able to open in this area, preventing excessive backhand pressure in the upper wind range. At the same time, the leech going up is relatively tight again, so a lot of the opening is actually happening right here. This is intentionally done, and then the head of the sail you can really easily manipulate by either adding some downhaul to open the head a little bit more, or by releasing some downhaul to close it up. For me, the cue when I'm using the sail is, if the sail is feeling slightly heavy, you got to put a little bit more downhaul tension. If the sail is feeling a little twitchy and it doesn't really want to power up, most likely you have a little bit too much tension on the downhaul, opening the leech a little bit too much. So for me, when I'm riding in down the line conditions, I ride with a little bit less downhaul tension, giving me a little bit more rail pressure and a little bit more drive in the bottom turn. Where if I'm sailing in onshore conditions where the wind range usually is a little bit bigger because you get covered by waves or whatever, I ride with a little bit more downhaul tension to get a little bit more speed and a little bit more lift from the sail. Then the second thing that we get to play with is the outhole tension. Obviously, releasing the outhole tension will make the sail a little bit deeper. Tightening it makes the sail a bit flatter. The deeper sail will give you more power, the flatter sail will be a bit more neutral. What we are doing on these sails is we are actually like to ride them with a bit of positive outhole tension, bringing the battens, the foot batten just overlapping with the mast and the batten above the boom just behind the mast. Having a sail with a little bit more outhole tension makes the sail a little bit more settled and a little bit easier to ride in the upper end. For the batten tension, we have a relatively standard setup, which means medium to moderate tension on the foot batten. You can always add a little bit more, but just make sure there's no wrinkles and then add maybe 1 or 2 turns. The batten above the boom you can play with a little bit. Having a little bit more tension here tightens the leech. Having a little bit less tension here opens the leech. I would say light to medium tension. And then the head batten, I always just take the wrinkles out of the sail. No need to put any more tension to that. Over-tensioning the head batten could result in the sail being a little bit heavy and loading from the top too much. To adjust the batten tension, we have a really easy system. You can do it on the water's edge. You simply undo the lock, open the batten tensioner, either lengthen or shorten the batten depending if you want more tension. So lengthening the batten gives you more tension, shortening the batten gives you less tension. Then closing and making sure you put the lock back on. The lock is there to make sure that your batten doesn't open while you're getting washed by waves or stuff like that. So make sure the lock's back on.